What comes to mind when you hear the phrase, the birthplace of America? Is it the bustling cities of the East Coast, or perhaps the signing of the Declaration of Independence? Today, we're stepping back even further, to a time before the United States existed, to a place called Jamestown. This is where English roots first took hold in the soil of the New World, a story of ambition, hardship, and ultimately, survival against all odds. Join us as we unearth the captivating story of Jamestown, the first permanent English colony in America. Welcome to Lexopedia, your gateway to the past. Here, we unravel the threads of history, bringing to life the stories and events that have shaped our world. Today, we invite you to journey back in time with us to the early 17th century, to the heart of early colonial America. Jamestown, Virginia stands as a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dared to dream of a new life in a new world. The story of Jamestown is not just about the past, it's about understanding the present. It's a story of survival, of adaptation, of the complex interplay between cultures. As we explore the trials and triumphs of Jamestown, we'll uncover the roots of American identity. From the establishment of representative government to the struggles for individual freedom, the seeds of a nation were sown in those early years. Imagine England in the early 1600s, the allure of the New World, a land whispered to be brimming with riches and ripe for the taking, had captured the imagination of many. The Virginia Company, a group of English investors, saw an opportunity in this vast, unexplored territory. King James V himself granted a charter to the Virginia Company, authorizing them to establish a colony in the New World. Over 100 men, a mix of gentlemen adventurers, skilled laborers, and those simply seeking a fresh start, heeded the call. On a cold December day in 1606, three small ships, the Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, set sail from England. They carried with them the hopes and dreams of a nation, along with the supplies and provisions needed to establish a colony in the vast unknown. The journey was long and treacherous, the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean, a formidable adversary. Confined to cramped quarters, the men endured seasickness, storms, and the ever-present threat of disease. After a grueling 4-month journey, land. The sight of the Virginia coastline, a verdant tapestry of green forests and sparkling waters, filled them with a mix of relief and exhilaration. They had arrived in the New World, a land teeming with both promise and peril. They chose an island for their settlement, a strategic location that offered protection from both the elements and potential enemies. This island, they named Jamestown, would become the first permanent English settlement in North America. The first order of business survival. The men, many of whom were ill-prepared for the harsh realities of frontier life, set about constructing a fort for protection and rudimentary shelters for housing. Disease, exacerbated by contaminated water and inadequate provisions, swept through the colony. Many succumbed to dysentery, malaria, and starvation. Captain John Smith, a seasoned explorer and a natural leader, emerged as a guiding force. The winter of 1609 descended upon Jamestown like a curse. The colonists, already weakened by disease and hunger, faced their most desperate hour. Food supplies dwindled to almost nothing, and the harsh winter conditions made foraging for sustenance nearly impossible. This brutal period, etched into history as the starving time, would test the very limits of human endurance. The arrival of a supply ship in the spring of 1610, led by the newly appointed governor, Lord de la Warr, quite literally saved the colony from annihilation. The arrival of the English in Virginia did not go unnoticed. The colonists had landed in the heart of Senacomica, the land ruled by the powerful Powhatan Confederacy, a coalition of over 30 Algonquin-speaking tribes. Wahunsunakak, known to the English as Chief Powhatan, watched these newcomers with a wary eye, uncertain of their intentions. The relationship between the English and the Powhatan was complex and often fraught with tension. No story of early Jamestown would be complete without mentioning Pocahontas, the daughter of Chief Powhatan. Her name, meaning playful one or little wanton, belied the pivotal role she would play in the tumultuous relationship between the English and the Powhatan. One of the most enduring legends surrounding Pocahontas is her alleged role in saving the life of Captain John Smith. According to Smith's account, he was captured by the Powhatan and sentenced to death. Pocahontas, then a young girl, is said to have thrown herself upon him, preventing his execution. The marriage of Pocahontas to John Rolfe in 1614 was a watershed moment in the early history of Jamestown. It marked a brief period of relative peace between the English colonists and the Powhatan Confederacy, a glimmer of hope in a relationship often defined by mistrust and conflict. Pocahontas, baptized Rebecca upon her conversion to Christianity, embraced her new life as the wife of an English planter. She traveled to England with Rolfe and their young son, where she was received as a curiosity, a civilized savage who embodied the colonial fantasy of converting the native population to English ways. Her presence in England, however, was more than just a spectacle. The fragile peace brokered by Pocahontas and Rolfe proved to be short-lived. As more English colonists arrived in Virginia, lured by the promise of land and opportunity, the pressure on Native American territories intensified. The introduction of tobacco as a cash crop in the early 1610s had a profound impact on the colony's development. Tobacco, a labor-intensive crop, fueled a demand for more land and more workers, leading to further encroachment on Native American territories. The simmering tensions between the English and the Powhatan finally boiled over in the spring of 1622. Opechancanough, Chief Powhatan's brother and successor, had grown increasingly wary of the English presence in Virginia. On March 22, 1622, Opechancanough orchestrated a surprise attack on the English settlements, a desperate attempt to drive the invaders from his land. The uprising, swift and brutal, caught the colonists completely off guard. Native American warriors armed with hatchets, clubs, and bows and arrows swept through the outlying plantations, killing men, women, and children indiscriminately. The Uprising of 1622 proved to be a turning point in the history of Jamestown and Anglo-Native American relations in Virginia. The English, their initial shock and grief giving way to anger and a thirst for revenge, launched a series of brutal reprisals against the Powhatan. The colony's leadership, determined to assert their dominance, adopted a scorched earth policy, raiding Native American villages, destroying crops, and seizing land. The conflict raged for years, with both sides engaging in acts of brutality and savagery. Jamestown, once a struggling outpost on the edge of the wilderness, was well on its way to becoming a permanent and powerful English colony, fueled by the insatiable demand for tobacco and built upon the displacement and dispossession of the Native Americans who had called this land home for centuries. While conflict raged, a new force was quietly reshaping Jamestown's destiny: tobacco. John Rolfe experimented with a milder strain of tobacco, more palatable to European tastes. The demand for tobacco in England and Europe was insatiable. This brown gold quickly became Virginia's most lucrative export. The insatiable demand for tobacco labor fueled a system of indentured servitude, where individuals, often from the poorest classes of English society, agreed to work for a set period, typically 4 to 7 years, in exchange for passage to the New World. These indentured servants, while technically not slaves, endured harsh conditions, often facing exploitation and abuse at the hands of their masters. As the tobacco industry boomed, so too did the demand for labor, exceeding the supply of willing indentured servants. This labor shortage, coupled with the growing perception of Africans as racially inferior and therefore more suited for hard labor, led to a horrific shift: the introduction of chattel slavery into the colony. The first Africans arrived in Jamestown in 1619, marking the beginning of a dark and shameful chapter in American history. The shift from indentured servitude to chattel slavery was gradual but inexorable. The legal system, initially designed to regulate indentured servitude, was twisted and manipulated to create a system of racialized slavery, where Africans and their descendants were deemed property, bought and sold like commodities, and denied basic human rights. While the dark shadow of slavery loomed large, Jamestown was also witnessing the birth pangs of a new society, one with its own unique character and institutions. In 1619, just 12 years after its founding, Jamestown witnessed a landmark event, the convening of the first representative legislative assembly in the New World, the House of Burgesses. This assembly, composed of elected representatives from the colony's various settlements, marked a significant step toward self-governance, a seed of democracy planted in the soil of the New World. The House of Burgesses, though initially limited in its power and scope, established a precedent for representative government that would shape the political landscape of America for centuries to come. Alongside this burgeoning political life, a distinct legal system began to emerge in Jamestown, one that blended English common law with the practical realities of colonial life. Courts were established to adjudicate disputes, property rights were defined and enforced, and a body of laws, both written and unwritten, gradually took shape, forming the foundation for a new legal order in the New World. The story of Jamestown isn't confined to history books and dusty archives. In fact, it's a living, breathing narrative continuously being rewritten as archaeologists meticulously unearth the secrets buried beneath the soil. Each shard of pottery, each corroded coin, each skeletal remain whispers tales of those early years, providing invaluable insights into the lives, struggles, and triumphs of the first colonists. One of the most poignant discoveries was the Jamestown Well, a time capsule of sorts, offering a glimpse into the harsh realities of life in the early colony. Analysis of the well's contents revealed evidence of drought, famine, and even cannibalism during the starving time, stark reminders of the challenges those early settlers faced. But the archaeological record also reveals stories of resilience, adaptation, and cultural exchange. Excavations have unearthed evidence of Native American influence on colonial architecture, pottery, and even food preparation, highlighting the complex interplay between the two cultures. Each new discovery adds another layer to our understanding of this pivotal period in American history. Quirks and curiosities of colonial life. Life in early Jamestown wasn't all doom and gloom. There existed a vibrant tapestry of everyday life, filled with unique customs and humor. Let's explore some intriguing aspects of early colonial Virginia. Personal hygiene wasn't entirely absent. Colonists valued cleanliness, using herbs for fragrant soaps. They loved games and entertainment. Card games and performances provided welcome distractions. Fashion was important, even in rugged Jamestown. Clothing marked social standing and added elegance. Standing today on the hallowed grounds of Jamestown, one can't help but feel the weight of history. This small, swampy island, once a precarious foothold in the vast wilderness, witnessed the birth pangs of a nation. The struggles, sacrifices, and triumphs of those early colonists, both inspiring and sobering, continue to resonate centuries later, shaping our understanding of America's origins and its complex, often contradictory identity. Jamestown was a crucible, a melting pot where English ambitions clashed with Native American realities, where the seeds of representative government were sown in the soil of the New World, and where the horrors of slavery took root alongside the ideals of freedom and opportunity. It's a story of resilience and adaptation, of innovation and enterprise, but also of conflict, displacement, and the enduring legacy of colonialism. As we've journeyed through the annals of Jamestown's history, we've uncovered tales of both darkness and light, of hardship and hope. It's a reminder that history is rarely simple or straightforward, but rather a complex tapestry woven from countless individual stories, each thread contributing to the rich, multifaceted narrative of the American experience. Jamestown's enduring significance. Jamestown is a tangible link to our collective past, a reminder of the audacity, resilience, and complexities that shaped a nation. It stands as a testament to the human spirit's capacity for great dreams and grave missteps. Freedom, prosperity, and survival often come at a steep price, paid by the marginalized. Jamestown's story resonates with echoes of colonialism, cultural clashes, and the quest for a better life. Join the Lexopedia journey. Explore, learn, and discover. Unearth the captivating story of Jamestown, the birthplace of America's first permanent English colony. Dive into the lives of those who carved a life out of the wilderness, explore the clashes and connections between cultures, and witness the rise of a nation from humble beginnings. Understanding the past is key to shaping a brighter future. We hope this video has sparked your curiosity. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We've got a treasure trove of fascinating stories waiting to be unearthed. Join us and let's keep the spirit of exploration alive.